been a few weeks since we talked to you. I got to remember if I remember how to do this, but we did get on the air, and we're with you on Facebook Live as well at Gospel Station Network Sports and Talk.
Gospel Station Sports and Talk, right?
Pretty close, yeah.
Is that close?
Pretty close, yeah.
Okay, that's close enough. Luke Young says that's close enough. So you can find us. Just look for the Gospel Station Network Sports and Talk, and you'll find us on Facebook Live. We are at Chelino's in Yukon, in the Chisholm Shopping Center off Garth Brooks Boulevard and Andrew Drive. And yes, there is construction on Garth Brooks Boulevard, but if you get off 540 and just make that one little half block up to the light at Andrew Drive and turn in, you're fine. It's not really that much of a hassle to get here. What is a hassle today is getting down I-40. I mean, there's a lot of traffic out there. It's always the hottest day of the year. For some reason, the most cars decide to get out and stop in the middle of the road when it is so hot. But I got here and we're ready to go. We'll be with you for the next couple of hours. And of course, it is enchilada night here at Chelino's. That means your choice, chicken, beef, or cheese enchiladas with two sides and your setup, just $8.99 for all of them, and that is a great deal any way you slice it. And Chelino's famous for that forever at all their locations, Yukon, Edmond, Oklahoma City, all over the universe. And we're at the Yukon location. We want you to come out and join us here tonight. They'll have that until close tonight at 9. We'll be here till 7. And you can also order anything off their revised menu. They have a bright, colorful new menu. And I decided to get adventurous today. And what did I even order? I've forgotten now. I ordered the, it was a dinner, right? What did I order? I've already forgotten. And what I got doesn't look like what I thought I ordered. So I'm a little confused right now anyway, but I'm going to try this chaska, the street corn. It looks fantastic. And the chino beans, which are fried borracho beans. You don't have all the soup in it, so that's cool too. And I'll figure out what actually I ordered at some point here tonight. But you can get anything on the menu. You can surprise yourself like I did tonight. What has it got? It's got beef, chicken, and shrimp, supposedly. It looks like I got to dig underneath that cheese on top to find all that. But this will be, I know I saw it earlier and I'm not seeing it now. That's crazy. So maybe I just dreamed that I ordered that. But anyway, you can get what you want here at Chelino's every night of the week. They're Oklahoma's favorite place for chip dipping, margarita sipping, and fajita grilling here at Chelino's. And of course, Luke Young is here with us. We'll be talking to him. We got some baseball going on, people rolling in, as you can see, to fill it up here at Chelino. It's a great place to bring the kids because it takes them about 30 seconds to bring you your meal after you order it. So there's no downtime where you have to entertain the kiddos, give them the iPad or whatever. Food's right there. You get them right to work and get them full and get them sleepy for the ride home. Right? That's the way you do it, parents. And it's a popular place for people to bring their kids as well. Of course, we're in the throes of baseball season. We're past the trade deadline. A lot of wacky stuff happened there while we were on hiatus. And some great stuff this afternoon in baseball. We'll talk about that in a minute. College NFL camps open. I guess high school camps open too. It's 3.5 weeks till week 0 in high school football. I think there's some college games on that Friday night, Thursday night, Friday night as well. Then the NFL early September. There's some real exhibition. You know, the Hall of Fame game's kind of stupid because it's so early in camp, and they play these guys, and you know they're not going to be at top form. But this week, I guess, starts real exhibition games, if there is such a thing, and those will be running tomorrow, Thursday night. Will be a game. Shedeur Sanders is going to get the start, and he's missed a lot of camp, and people are saying this is setting him up to fail because he hasn't had enough reps. We'll talk about that in a little bit as well. So a lot of those things going on right now. But we're going to start out with the baseball action today. Cade Horton, the former Sooner, the Cubs phenom, he set the rookie record for the Cubs today. 23 and a half, I don't know how you can get a half. It's either a third, 2/3 of a full inning, right? But I thought it said 23 and a half scoreless innings in a row. But he threw another 5 2/3 scoreless innings. They're very careful not to overextend him. I don't think he's gone beyond 6 innings this year. But Cubs won their game over. Look at that today. We'll pull it up. Over Cincinnati, I believe it was. Was it 5-0? I'm not going to show you. What are we? 6-1 was the final, but scoreless innings for Cade Horton. He picks up another W. There. In the Guardians game against the Mets at Shea Stadium, near no-hitter, as the pitcher for the Guardians, Williams, went 8 2/3, but he was 8 1/3 hitless, and then Juan Soto, with 1 out of the 9th, did a solo home run. He did get one more out. He couldn't quite finish it. A career high 126 pitches. You rarely hear of a pitcher throwing that many anymore. That was his career high. I think the high for the major leagues this year is 131 pitches. That used to be normal for a lot of guys back in the day. But they won it 4-1 over the Mets in that contest. So that's kind of what's going on in Major League Baseball. And how about Nolan Eovaldi just going crazy? I saw a stat the other day. First guy since Bob Gibson, which is going back to the 60s, giving up 1 run or less in 13 of his 14 starts this year. He's had only 1 start where he's given up more than 1 earned run. His ERA microscopic right now, but he is certainly putting up some fantastic numbers. So the pitchers kind of leading the way, Luke, and you said to ask you about the Red Sox.
I did. They seem to have finally figured things out in the front office, which is what I was most happy about. And the breaking news today, obviously, is that Roman Anthony just signed an 8-year contract.
You think they're jumping the gun a little bit?
No.
The guy's a rookie. I know he's great, but to go ahead and lock him up for 8 years right now?
I can understand after that Christian Campbell contract how it might be jumping the gun a little bit, but no, I think this kid is a generational talent. They're doing the opposite of what Dallas Cowboys football does, if that explains it to you. This is a great decision. The Roman Anthony empire is here to stay, if you will. They've secured their core. They did exactly what they needed to do. If they could just get us more pitching.
Well, that's everybody's cry, and that was what was the big commodity during the trade deadline. A lot of crazy moves. The Twins just had a fire sale and just dumped on their fans, and that was pretty sad to see. But Mac Miller coming out with his big self and his 103-mile-an-hour fastball. He changed the teams. And I was good to see Max Muncy came down and had a rehab assignment for the Dodgers with Oklahoma City and went 0 for his first 9 and struck out all those times. I said, well, that's normal when you're coming off an injury. You take it easy. The next 2 games, he goes 5 for 5 and then 3 for 4. He went 3 hits in that home run, and the Dodgers called him back up. Back in the lineup last night, I said, you know what? He's pretty hot. I bet he does something pretty spectacular in his first game out, and I was right. He hit 2 home runs, had another hit, first game back for the Dodgers last night. So that's a good sign for them because Mookie Betts has been struggling. All their hitters have been struggling. Ohtani today had struck out 5 guys through 3 innings. Let's see how far. He had a little bit of a scare his last time out with had some numbness or something. He couldn't get the strike zone before then. Numbness in his hand or his thumb, yeah. But today, Ohtani went 4 innings, gave up 2 hits, did give up a run, 8 strikeouts in 4 innings. So if he's able to start extending and pitch more, then that's going to be pretty interesting for the Dodgers. They lead the Cardinals 3-2, top of the 8th inning right now. Ohtani is the DH today too, and he's also hit his 39th home run. That's a pretty it's Babe Ruth, pitching and hitting home runs, and 39 home runs, and he's throwing shutout innings. One back to the Cade Horton thing today. The other impressive thing, not only just giving up 1 hit or 2 hits in 5 2/3, 58 of his 69 pitches were strikes. He only threw 11 balls in 5 2/3 innings, which means he's throwing it over the plate, which usually means if you're throwing it over the plate too much, you're going to hit it a little bit. They can't hit it when he throws it over the plate. And that's pretty scary if you're a hitter, impressive. And I think first pitch strikes was like 16 out of 19. And he had that was where you could tell when he was a college pitcher, when he was going to have a day, is if he started out that first inning was throwing nothing but strikes, he usually would continue that on, and obviously he did that today. And, he's a guy, pitching's dangerous because, almost everybody gets an arm injury. And he did, and he came back, and he looks like he's come back stronger than when he was in there. But I don't know if he'll do the Cubs that much good this year, but he's certainly somebody to watch for the future. We are here at Chelino's Mexican Restaurant, Garth Brooks Boulevard in the Chisholm Center at Garth Brooks Boulevard, Andrew Drive, just north of I-40. And again, a little bit of construction there. It's down to 1 lane, but you turn right in at the light there at Andrew Drive, and it's not really a hassle to get here. Get that $8.99 enchilada deal, and if you get here, it's happy hour right now. So over in the bar area, you can get some good deals there as well. Hey, Gavin Bender, San Diego Padres, give me an update on them. Were you happy with what they did or didn't do during the trading deadline? Well, and here's where I'll give you hope. Yes, they've traded away a lot of the prospects. Yes, they did that before, but they seem to be able to replenish. They are doing a great job scouting and signing guys. So everybody's fairly confident that they're just going to, regroup, get a bunch of new guys in the minor league system, and that you got to have assets. It's almost like NBA philosophy, what Sam Presti's doing. Get as many assets that you can get, and then you have the ability to make trades and get the exact thing that you need, rather than hoping that prospect is going to pan out. So I think the Padres, their fans are happy, like you mentioned, and so I think it's kind of a honeymoon right now, and we'll see what they do as we move along in the playoffs. We'll get to some college and NFL coming up in our next segment. Come on out and join us for enchilada night here at Chelino's. And I tell you what, this chasca, this street corn, is fantastic. I haven't tried that here before. Looks like Got a little cheese in it. Sweet corn with just a little kick to it. And my melange of whatever this is that I can't find the name of that I'm eating is very good too. So I'll try to figure that out when we go to the break. Come on out and see us. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more on this edition of the Sports Authority right after this time out on the Sports and Talk Network. Finally found it.
Padres demolished their minor league programs. They sent away like every top prospect they had. It's crazy. Excuse me.
You're in the wrong pocket. By the way, the first Midwest City game is at Piedmont on the 29th.
Oh boy.
That's the first Midwest City game. They don't have the whole schedule up, but I saw that.
You said it's going to be busy September 10th. Are you doing a football game September 10th?
10?
Yes. Because one of the schedules showed Midwest City and Carl Albert playing on September 10th. That's on Wednesday.
No, they're not. That's not right. I didn't tell you.
You said you won't be able to do the show on the 10th. I thought, that can't be a football game.
No, I'm doing volleyball or soccer or something. No, they can play on Thursday, but they end up playing on Wednesday.
You playing in? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm done.
No, I was going to ask, are you planning to talk about what's going on in Cleveland with that gambling situation? Classic.
Oh, probably not.
Probably not. I heard that their lockers are cleared out.
Those
Last
two
time
guys?
I heard that.
Yeah,
That's what I heard.
probably so.
That is unconfirmed. Like, I don't have a source, but that's what I heard.
Welcome back. Yeah, I know we're back. We're just having a conversation. We're on Facebook Live. We're here at Chelino's. People are rolling in for enchilada night, $8.99. Your choice of chicken, beef, or cheese. Whatever sauce you want on top, or if you don't want any. You get to make that choice too. Your choice of sides, you get the setup as always. Chips, salsa, queso. $8.99. It's an institution. They've been doing it for years. The price never changes. And it's not going to. I don't guess. We don't, I guess, we'll see if the tariffs affect the Chelino's Wednesday night enchilada night. But they have dedicated to keep it at $8.99 all the way through. But we are here until 7 o'clock tonight. Luke Young is here with me. Gavin Bender back in studio. And I mentioned the camps are open. I guess we'll hit college first tonight. Coaches poll out yesterday. No Oklahoma teams in the top 25. Sooners number 26. And I think that's kind of a hedge bet for a lot of people. There were actually two fairly respected followers of the SEC, commentators, that actually said picked Oklahoma to win the SEC. I don't know. I want to get some of whatever they're drinking, smoking, inhaling, whatever, because I don't think even the most rabid and positive Sooner fans would ever go out on a limb and say they're going to win the SEC with the schedule that they have. You don't count, Daniel, because you're a lunatic. But I can, I think though that speaks to those guys picking them to win, and then people not put them in the top 25. I think that speaks to the uncertainty of what's going to happen in Norman. I don't think anybody knows with all the new people, new quarterback, new running back, some changes in the line, etc. Receivers. They've already having injuries in practice. Jay not banged up today. They kept him out. They had only two completely healthy running backs today, Javonte Barnes, and then their fourth or fifth team. So, I can't. But I can't see any scenario, even if everything works out perfectly, where they win more than 8 games this year. I think that would be a fantastic season if they won 8 games with the schedule that they have. I can also see it going terribly wrong if they continue, and they've had injuries already in camp with the offensive line. We don't know, we don't know how they're going to improve there. We think, it's all thinking. We think they'll be better receivers. We know Jay Knott is better than any of the running backs they had last year. We don't know about the offensive line. We think the defense will be as solid as it was. So I think until they play Michigan, who came in at number 14 in the preseason poll, until they play Michigan, I think the jury's out on how good Oklahoma's going to be. They make their season, at least they make a statement that they're going to be a player in the college football scene this year if they beat Michigan in that game. So you've got to circle that one and put up there. And I don't think the game's preceding that, looking ahead, whatever, I don't think that's going to be, even if they're looking ahead, I don't think anybody can beat them that they've got ahead of them. So it's kind of interesting there. And for Oklahoma State, they've kind of kept things under wraps. They didn't. They've been practicing for about a week, but they didn't have anybody talk until the weekend. And I'm interested to see how the transfer from UCO, Terrell Davis, fits into there. Mike Gundy says he definitely has shown that he's a player if he can stay healthy. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but he had a fantastic year at D2 last year. And then to know who the quarterback is, I've got to say that it's got to be Zane Flores, right? All things being equal, I know they're trying to make it. He said today that it's going to go right down to the start of the season to determine. But if it's not Zane Flores, Gavin Bender, can you feel very good about Oklahoma State's chances of where they're going to go this year? Well, no, I mean, it's not like he's going to win. It's not like he's going to drive them to a fantastic season, but you got to have some stability, right? Well, I mean, Gundy keeps saying it's a competition, and they keep making him available for interviews after. He seems like a pretty sharp kid. How do you say his last name? I thought it was like, no, that's his first name, isn't it? His last name is like Heine or something like that. No, Haas I get, but is it Heine, Haney? I need to have somebody pronounce that and get it out there. Yeah, Haney, that's Mr. Haney. That's probably it. So, what else though? Who's running? Who's catchy? Right. No, they're not. It's like, Fort Knox or whatever. No, I always laugh at teams that say they got 21 players coming back when they won 21 starters coming back when they won 3 games. If you got 21 starters coming back and you won 3 games, that's probably a problem. It's probably a minus rather than a positive. Yeah, I would say, because now I know that they ended the media poll, and I'm all for that. That was the one thing, the last time we did a show, I wanted to bring up, and I forgot what it was, and I couldn't remember. That's what it was. I remembered a week later. The talk about not having a media preseason poll. The media has no claim. And I'll tell you that as being a member of the media. Those preseason media polls are stupid. You mean the coaches top 25? Yeah. Did the Big 12 do a coaches poll or not? I haven't seen it. Yeah, I don't think they did. So we're just guessing. We're figuring, well, Arizona State, what did they lose? They're probably still okay. We're not sure what's happening with BYU after they had to chase off their sinning quarterback for that, and Texas Tech. A lot of people are hyping them as being a stealth candidate for the playoffs this year. I haven't really paid much attention to them lately. Okay. Dark horse. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. I mean, look at the Sooners and what I see of John Mateer, and granted it's limited to whatever they let the media show for 30 minutes. But I was a little shocked when I saw the arm angle, and he's not a tall guy, and I'm thinking, yeah, that's cool when you're out scrambling, but can you get your passes off without getting them batted down in regular pocket action? Well, it's actually like Baker Mayfield. And I know people are comparing him, and everybody's saying, well, that's an unfair comparison, but they look a lot alike physically, and the way they move, and the running, and maybe I'm worried for no reason, because he's probably had to deal with that his whole career, and they haven't changed him. So he's figured out how to do it. But that was a little scary when I saw a few of his deliveries, and I said, did he just do it on that play? And everybody was asking that question. Even the hardcore fans are like, well, yeah, I mean, that arm, does he do that every play? So I don't know. That's one thing I'm going to be looking for. as he gets on. But they're trying to make the Baker Mayfield comparison, and I see it because physically they look similar, and their mannerisms seem similar. And from what I hear, the way he is in the locker room, he's a leader, true leader, kind of like a rally the troops guy like Mayfield. So that's going to be something interesting to watch. But it's really wild when you're two guys that you are. I mean, you got to depend on offensively. Quarterback and your top running back are guys that weren't on the team last year, that were in other programs. It's really strange, and that's the era of the portal and NIL and all that. I guess we got to get used to it, but Oklahoma's never. I mean, they've imported quarterbacks, right? But normally, with Mayfield, he was on the campus. He redshirted a year. Wasn't eligible, so he had that year to work and practice. Same thing with Kyler Murray, and then he backed up Mayfield. So those guys were on campus. Gabriel, I guess, came straight in. That was the first time that Oklahoma had dealt with that, where they brought in a guy from another program that was in his right? Jalen Hurts. I think he's after Murray. So, he came right in. So I guess it was Hurts and then Gabriel. So we've had that before. And then they tried to go back to traditional way, and it didn't work out. So they said, well, let's go back to the portal. Well, portal running back, that's going to be an interesting one, and we'll see what it goes from there. But that's collegiately what we're looking at right now. We're here at Chelino's, Garth Brooks Boulevard, in the Chisholm Center. We're with you on Facebook Live, Gospel Station Network, Sports and Talk, and people are coming in, dining, the early crowd. You've got till 9 o'clock tonight, or whatever your schedule dictates. Get in here, they get you served, they get you out of here. And you come in and have your enchiladas for $8.99. You still got 2-3 hours of daylight to go out and do all the things you want to do at night. Maybe it'll be cool off a little bit. It was pretty toasty this afternoon. Thank goodness it wasn't real humid, but it is hot out there as summer has returned after our little respite of last week. Chelino's, the place for chip dipping, margarita sipping, and fajita grilling. Come on out and see us. It's an institution in Oklahoma. Chelino's, here in the Chisholm Center, Garth Brooks Boulevard off Andrew Drive. We'll come back with more of the Sports Authority right after this time out. How you been, Daniel? You doing all right?
Yeah, just solid everything. Is that all I've had time to do? How about you?
Been kind of bored since I didn't have a show to do the last couple of weeks.
Sorry.
I had to finally kind of work this week. I had to build all my classes Monday and Tuesday. It took me all day Monday and Tuesday. Instead of getting easier every year, they keep adding little tidbits and can't just copy everything. I got to go back in and change dates.
Yeah, that's
We have our meetings next Thursday, Friday, and then start school on the 18th. I think it just went on fast. Good. But I got tenure now, so they can't fire me unless I just do something really crazy. And my name's not in the Epstein file, so I'm probably.
Those are never getting released anyways, apparently.
Oh, him out at home. He's out. No score. Oh, he wants to challenge it.
They have challenges, Little League.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to talk about that when we come back. Oh, it's the 7th inning and it's scoreless. We're going to challenge. Why not? It'll be the first run of the game. This is big business now. The Little League World Series.
They send it to New York. I can't believe that.
He had the ball. I think that's standing up. I think he's out. That's awfully close.
You can't tell if he's got him on top or on the side right
Yeah,
there.
I think he got him on the side.
I think he's got him. I think it's now.
Welcome back, Chelinos, on this beautiful Wednesday evening here with you, Tony Sellers, Luke Young's alongside, and Gavin Bitter back in studio. $8.99, that's a lot of night. Come on out, your choice. Well, there's another angle. What was that? Well, it's hard to tell. We're watching the Little League World Series highlights on ESPN. It's a 0-0 game. And just had a play at the plate between Connecticut and New Jersey. And the runner was out at the plate. But it was about as close as it could get. And in Little League World Series, now we have the challenge. They tap the helmet, just like the Major League Baseball. So Connecticut's challenging. This could be the go-ahead run. It's scoreless in the top of the 7th inning. They got a base hit. The center fielder overthrew home plate. But the catcher got it through the pitcher, and it looked like the runner was called out. And it is about as close as it can be. So I'm interested to see how this one works out. He immediately called for the challenge. Well, Luke was saying they got challenged in Little League. Did you not see what happened in the game between Oklahoma and Texas in the regionals the other day?
No, I didn't.
The kid for Oklahoma's at second base, and he's giving hand signals to the batter. He's signaling the pitches. And apparently, I did not know this, they have a rule against that in Little League. You cannot do that.
You're serious?
In Little League, yeah. But the first time you do it, it's just a warning. The second time, then the stuff happens. So they went to the monitors and looked, said, yeah, he's tipping the pitches. Quit doing that. Very next pitch, bases were loaded. Oklahoma was down by 3 runs. Very next pitch, the batter hits a grand slam, and Oklahoma wins the game. That was crazy, and
That's what those Longhorns get for being soft.
yeah, they're soft, but they did shot, all of that. So he did. I think. Let's see if they made the ruling yet. I think they did, or maybe they haven't. They're still looking at it. Yes, they're still looking at it. So we'll go to that. Did you know that? Can you believe that, Gavin? I think you should be able to. First of all, Little League, what is it? 11-12? Is 12 the cutoff? I think it's a little more. How many pitches is a guy throwing at 11, 12 years old, Gavin Bender? No. I mean, what are they throwing besides a fastball and maybe? I mean, so what are you tipping? I just don't think it. Yeah, I just don't think it helps that much for the kid in Little League, for the kid at second base to tell you what the pitcher's doing.
He's safe. Run cross.
Oh. Yeah, that's what I think. But they do have it's in their rule book. Somebody pulled the rule book out. And we were wrong. I thought they would uphold the out call, but they said the guy was safe. And now on the next pitch, what did he throw? A wild pitch?
Yeah, wild pitch.
And another run scored. So now it's 2-0. So it looks like unless New Jersey makes a rally in the bottom This is an elimination game in their regional, so it looks like Connecticut's in pretty good shape right now. But I mean, come on, you know, it's enough to have 800 games a year in travel ball. We've taken all the fun out of Little League sports. I mean, it's everybody's serious playing tackle football. Has had football when they're 6 years old. You know, they're having these travel teams and we're recruiting players. And I mean, I would have loved to have played that many games when I was young, but I don't think I would have loved the seriousness that these coaches and these players have now when they're 9 and 10 years old. Yeah. Oh, you know, I just have we've commercialized and tried to make everything professional. Oh, we see, yeah. Eighth graders, yeah, they're putting on their Twitter profiles, you know, all their numbers and all that stuff. But the parents are doing it. The parents are seeing, you know, doing it, and it's unrealistic. Because out of all those kids, you know, maybe about 13% of them are going to play college sports. You know, I was fortunate. I was fortunate to play college sport. I played at a lower, you know, right then they were basically at 2 levels. I played at the lower level, but I'm playing college baseball. Not everybody can say that. And then talk about professional. You take that 13% and knock it down to about 5 or 6 that are ever going to play at the professional level. I just think that parents now, unrealistic expectations, and now we got NIL deals in high school. And then all the, you know, I've been watching all summer all these basketball and football players here in the state of Oklahoma changing schools. And it's just like coming like 3 and 4 weeks ahead of time. There were like 3 or 4 of them in the last week. Now we got these elite prep schools that are starting up out of nothing and siphoning all these players out. It's just taking all the fun out of it, to me. You know, how do you have allegiance to a school, even if you're a graduate of it? You never know who's going to be on your team from here. By the way, I mentioned that Phoenix Woodson, who won a state champion. He was at, where was he at? He was at Crossings 2 years ago. He was at Deer Creek last year. They won the state championship, and now he's going to a prep school. I can't. I'll have to go back and look. You know, I saw something the other day. I hadn't seen an announcement. I just saw him and saying he was going to be wherever he's going to be. Tulsa has one. It's called something in Maine, I think. And we've got the thing in Norman that siphoned off 2 or 3 guys. I can't keep up with all that stuff. I don't want to keep up with all that stuff. How about that? That's it. Yeah, he's going. So he's even leaving the state. You know, and he's had some low or mid-major. I don't know if he's had mid-major. I think like Texas A&M, Corpus Christi, people like that. I think he can play. He's got the size and the build and the talent, but he hasn't had all those. Yeah, New Mexico. I consider that a mid-major. Don't you? Yeah. I don't know that doing something like that is just going to help out that much. I mean, the summer you get the exposure, that's telling you from the offers that you get from your summer exposure where you rank. And if you're not getting those from the summer exposure, what makes you think going to another school and playing high school ball for that 2 months is going to elevate you so much that you're going to get all these big offers? I just have a problem. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's going to grow 3 or 4 inches or 6 down there. I don't know. But I just have a hard time. Just the landscape, just the way everything's happening with high school sports, with college sports is professional sports now. I don't really have a vested interest in any teams. we follow the teams in state because that's where we are. We don't even know. I mean, I look at the guys at Oklahoma. They're not recruiting for the future. I looked at their recruiting class next year. Do they even have a player from the state of Oklahoma as a commitment next year? I don't think so. I'd have to go back and check, but I think almost all of the commits. And I understand they're in the SEC, but you still have to pull the best player out of your home state, right? Or OSU. You know, OSU does have a few. They got the latest Presley kid. Another Presley is going to go. But I know we're not going to turn out for the. There is, we see it. Oklahoma picks the top 30 every year preseason. There aren't 30 players that are going to be in big time programs out of the state of Oklahoma. I would say it's about 10. Is that a fair number? Well, I mean, there are guys that are going to play D1, but I mean guys that are going to make a significant impact for D1. I don't know. Maybe I'm being overly harsh, but I see them including all these guys from these small schools, and you can't do that. There may be 2 or 3 of those guys that can break out of that type of competition and make it high D1. You have to be an extraordinary athlete, and you have to look at it and say, "Were these guys just dominating at the level they're at?" And so you're overinflating, what their worth is going to be at the next level. And last year, I'll point out the guy from Pauls Valley, running back. I think he transferred from Honeywood to Pauls Valley and played last year. Knight, I believe his name was. I don't think that he played in the All-State game last year, so he's obviously not going to a high division program. Yet they had him way up high. In fact, they may have had him as the #1 running back last year, which was crazy when you had a guy like Robinson, who's going to, I think, see significant time this year at Arizona State as a freshman. He had a big spring. He graduated early, participated in spring at Arizona State, and was highly impressive. And when that came out last year and they didn't have him as the top running back, I said, "You guys are crazy." And there's nothing against Pauls Valley, but they just don't play the competition. It's going to challenge a kid to be that good. It's hard. It's hard to do. We are here at Chelino's at Garth Brooks Boulevard, the Chisholm Center. It is enchilada night. Your choice of beef, chicken, or cheese, the sauce you want, the size you want. We get to set up $8.99 every Wednesday. It's a tradition at all the Chelino's locations in the metro area. Your favorite place for chip dipping, margarita sipping, and fajita. We will take a break and come back and wrap up hour #1 of the Sports Authority on Facebook Live and the Sports and Talk Network. We got another run.
Yeah.
I can't believe. I guess it's probably because it's right in their backyard that ESPN is televising this.
Yeah.
This is just the regional. This isn't the actual College World Series. High school, Little League World Series. Good play.
I know. I was just thinking that. Off one hop, backhand.
Backhand.
I like it. I like it.
Oh, nice catch. That's the end of the ball game.
Okay.
So heck, two big plays.
All right. I'm with it, Connecticut. That's a good feeling.
Oh, that wasn't out. I thought that was out 3.
Oh, I thought that backhand play was out too. Yeah.
Yeah, I did too. Thought I swore I saw one out up there already. pitcher's a pretty good sized kid for 12 years old. Whoa.
I was so scared he was about to do this with his arm. It was about the way he released that.
What happens when somebody does that?
Probably means his elbow is not.
Yeah,
feeling
because
best.
the way he's throwing is he's doing it with his elbow. See the way he's cocking it. It's not free and easy. That was like when I was 12. I had a big growth spurt, and I was like twice as big as everybody else. We made it to the state finals, and I had an umpire after the game. My career came up and said, "Have you thought about going to OSU?" I said, "I'm 12 years old."
That's funny.
We wound up runner-up. Ada beat us in the. Who beat us? Was it Ada? Yeah, Ada beat us in the finals.
Throw it right there again.
What a name!
Axel Tarvis. Throw it right there again. Kid can't get inside. Throw it right that same spot. Back to the well.
He says, "I need a 3-run home run right here. We're down to our final strike." Why does the pitcher have eyeballs?
Because he's a dog.
Welcome back to Chelino's, the Sports Authority.
Go back to the well. Tell him.
Tony Sellers with you.
Go back to the
Young
well.
is here.
Told you.
Gavin Bender back in the studio. And next hour, we'll get deeply into what's going on in the NFL. Jerry Jones said today, though, we'll throw this out. I know you're, on the edge of your seat wanting to know what Jerry Jones said. He doesn't think Micah Parsons is going to be ready to play the season opener against the Philadelphia Eagles. Whose fault is that, Jerry? You could have signed him to a contract a month ago. We'll get into that next hour. And somebody that is getting paid today, never thought this would happen. Austin Reeves, the Lakers are set to give him a $30 million a year contract. Can you believe that? It's amazing. They're not going to fumble the bag on him like they did Caruso. I think that's what this is. They're overpaying him to avoid Caruso Part 2. Because they had Caruso and they let him slide because they didn't want to pay him enough. Now they're different type of players, but they have kind of the same backstory of how they got there. And I had somebody today that were trying to justify part of it, a prognosticator or whatever that follows it, tried to say that Austin Reeves is the third best point guard, or the third best guard in the NBA, ahead of Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. You can't even dignify that. It's just, but this is how crazy. There's too many people talking about sports, right? Everybody has a podcast, and you have to stand out. So you have to say something crazy. It's like those two guys, and they were well-respected people that said OU's going to win the SEC. They just did that for clicks, right? But then, I guess now, because everything vanishes the week after you say it, 6 months from now you change your tune and nobody, calls you on it, what you said before. Sometimes they do, but anymore you can get away with just changing your mind or saying something outrageous and something different 3 weeks later. I'm going to start trying that. Start picking just outrageous stuff out of the can. But we're going to talk NFL football next hour. We're going to talk about we're going to be delicate with this. but the foreign object epidemic in the WNBA. You know, I feel bad for them because it's not going to stop. But anyway, we'll get into that next hour. We're here at Chelino's, here at the Chisholm Center. That is Chisholm, CH Center, Chisholm Center, on Garth Brooks Boulevard, just north of I-40, off of Andrew Drive. Yeah, there's a little construction right there off I-40. It's not a problem. You can turn right in here to the parking lot and get right to Chelino. Plenty of room, as you can see, for you right now. We've cleared some folks out. Got a new batch that'll be coming in next hour for that $8.99 enchilada dinner that they serve every Wednesday night here. Your choice: chicken, beef, or cheese. Whatever sauce you want, or if you don't want sauce, that's cool too. Pick your sides. $8.99. Never changes. The price never changes. No sticker shock here, like there is sometimes now today when you walk in the grocery store. No sticker shock here at Chelino's. It has stayed the same and will stay the same. Chelino's, Oklahoma's place for chip dipping, margarita sipping, and fajita grilling. We will take a break and we will come back with hour number 2 of the Sports Authority right here on Facebook Live and the Sports and Talk Network. Stick around.
Hey, you want to call this or you want to keep it on?
I think
It's down below 40 now.
that's fine.
Probably this.
I don't think we need to.
40%.
Yeah. So I'm ending it.
I don't think Tony cares. You care if he ends the Facebook Live?
No, it's up. No, I don't care.